Hear all of our previously aired broadcasts of News for the Soul online at newsforthesoul.com. Now let's get back to the show.
Well, that was exciting. Lots of dialing and reconnecting. Let's see if we've got everybody here. Need to take a breath after that. It's the Best Healing Show, B.E.S.D. You can go to newsforthesoul.com and find out why. Beth, do we have you on the line?
Yes.
Yay! That was challenging.
Yes.
We're all here now. Almost all of us. We'll get the rest of us here momentarily. Let's get you to reintroduce yourself in the new show.
Yes, I was just listening to music. It was the most relaxing part of my day, so thank you.
Well, that's nice.
Seriously, thank you very much for that 10-minute meditation. Yes. All right. So this is the Best Healing Show, and we are Best Healing Solutions. And I have one of my overseas fabulous, beautiful, inside and out practitioner here with us today, Puja, Shah. And she was on the first show that we did, and she made a big impact, so I wanted her back on the show. What we do is a form of energy medicine remotely over the phone with people everywhere for every condition you could ever imagine that is not healing, whether that's spiritual, which I've had a lot of that today. A lot of people really disconnected from the divine and in a lot of pain about it, to physical, emotional, relational, generational, all of that good stuff. We try to make it fun. It can be a serious endeavor. So it's good to smile and enjoy the outcomes and the results people have, because the results are wonderful. But we all struggle and we all suffer and have different pain in life. So it's not for the faint of heart, but we love what we do because the results are so good. So that's
your guest is on board, and we have one caller holding, and you're good to go.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole. Puja, are you here?
Hi. Yeah. Thank you, Beth. I'm glad to be here. That was a great introduction. It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And it is always so much fun when we get along together and help people with their non-healing issues. So I think we are passionate about that. And this has helped.
I agree. Yes, it is. It is something you have to have passion about, and that's the one thing. Yes, if anyone calls us for help, they will absolutely receive passion for healing and helping and service to others on the other end of the line, and that's very true. And Puja, that's one of the things that you bring with your beautiful heart. And Puja hails from the UK. I think you're somewhere close to London, right?
Yeah, that's correct. 30 minutes from London. And it doesn't feel like I'm that far. It has always felt as if we are together. We meet on the calls often, and we talk about our clients. We talk about, how can we help them better, and it could never be easy.
Well, and truthfully, where we live doesn't matter because we work with anyone. It's just a matter of time zones and when you're catching somebody. We train people everywhere and work with people everywhere.
Absolutely, yeah. People call us from all around the world, Europe, Asia, US, all around the world. The right people call you at the right time.
Yes, and Nicole would be happy to know. Yes, I have a lot of Canadian clients, so we're doing something right in Canada, Nicole.
Yay!
One of the things that Puja and I did want to talk about a little bit today before taking callers, just a few things, because I think sometimes energy work, energy medicine, healing that we do and others do, I think can sometimes get a bad rep because people feel like it's not necessarily confidential, or it's a little loosey-goosey, or not, good boundaries or good professional ethics. And, that's one of the things we take really seriously here at our work at Best Healing Solutions with our clients and our students that take our classes, because my background is as a psychologist, and I and the whole team follow ethics as if we were all psychologists in terms of confidentiality. It's very important to all of us. We all work with people that, I work with a woman, and I work with her husband, and I work with her grown son, and I don't share anything I talk to any of them individually about with the other ones, because that's just something I feel really strongly about. So if you're working with a Best Healing Solutions practitioner, it will be confidential. If they ever want to, if they ever want to talk about your case with our team, they will ask you, ahead of time if that's okay. Most people like that because they like to have, another set of eyes if there's a difficult issue. But we're very strong on that. And I wanted to mention it because, like I said, I've worked with a lot of clients now for 23, 24 years who feel like sometimes that, things weren't private or confidential or professional enough in our field. So anyway, I think enough said on that, but I just wanted to make that statement on the show today.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I feel that we deal with a lot of non-physical stuff when we are healing, and it is so personal and private, and we don't always discuss those stuff normally with our family even. So let alone be the sessions, the treatment sessions that we do with our clients. I think those are super confidential, and that is one of the things I hear a lot from my clients. Like, that's why they like this work with us. So confidentiality is a big piece for many, many clients.
Well, it's true. And, a lot of times people will say, I've never told anyone this. I had that happen my last call right before this show.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So we just wanted to share that today. The other thing, Puja, I think that you wanted to talk about some was how we deal with and help generational issues.
Yeah. Many times when we start doing the sessions and the clearings, I don't think necessarily we start with that, but sometimes there is a piece which is, leading us into the scan of miasm, which is finding out, okay, when did it start generationally for them? Because it's not just the diseases that we pass on to our generations, it is also the, the beliefs and the patterns that we pass on. And we have been successful in treating and, finding the truth around the generational issues. And we have seen it has helped a lot, not just for the physical or the chronic illness, but also for the non-physical spiritual issues.
Yeah. Yes. Well, a lot of times if you look at your life, or clients who call and you look at their life, you'll see, these repetitive patterns that go back in time, generation after generation. I talked with a woman yesterday, and she said, we were talking about something, and she said, she said, I was a really bad mom. And she said, but, that's what I learned. And she said, and that's what my parents learned. And that's what their parents learned. And she said, we were all just work and work on the farm and never talk about anything or treat anyone well. You just put your nose down and you worked. And she said, that goes back generation after generation. So, you see repetitive patterns. But the thing that's great with our work is that those things can heal. It doesn't mean just because it's generational, that means, I can't do anything about it. That's generational.
Yeah. And it is so, rewarding to know that you won't pass it on to your generations. At least for me, that was true. That if I do the work, I'm leaving it clean for my generation. So, yeah, it is very rewarding in that sense.
That's right. Well, and, oftentimes there will be trauma that you'll find with a client you're working with where the actual trauma is not in their life. It's in a generation before them, like their life or a great-grandparent or, something that occurred that was so traumatic that it actually affected generations after it on the cellular level. And that is not that uncommon. I mean, a specific obvious example is like war or even, the Holocaust. I've worked with people who survived the Holocaust and their family members after them. And trauma like that affects the physical health of generations after it. And we can help someone heal that. It sounds like it might be tricky or magical, but it's not. It's pretty straightforward, and it's very very freeing because that affects them deeply. It even affects their food sensitivities. It affects allergies. It affects fatigue. It affects energy. So many things, and that can be healed with our work, just like a trauma in your own life.
Yeah. I'm glad that you brought that up. There was a gentleman I worked with. He had a sensitivity to smell. He was allergic to lavender, nothing to do with his own, but that was a miasm, like generational.
Oh, interesting. An allergy to lavender.
Yeah, and every time he had that was the only thing we cleared for his arthritis. And I think he felt much better once he, cleaned up swapped his all the lavender with something that he was more, accepting towards.
Interesting. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing too, just on the generational discussion for a bit. For those of you that are familiar with homeopathy, homeopathy works with and treats miasmas or miasms, which are, generational vulnerabilities that are passed down, like carcinosin, that's cancer. That's one of the miasms. So we also work with those traditional miasms and can help to clear those for someone. So any frequencies that are in traditional homeopathy, we can also clear those miasms, like carcinosin. There's syphilis, there's gonorrhea miasms, there's tuberculosis, which is in tuberculinum. There's psora miasm, which is psoriasis. So we also work with clearing and helping people heal from those traditional miasms that maybe you have heard of, if someone listening is familiar with homeopathy. So sometimes I'll go through, just a list of the traditional miasms for someone who's interested in, trying to prevent something, in their life later, or wanting to know, what are the strong miasms in their family line. And we do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And how many times have you seen that like say, for example, hypertension, it reduces at least 25 to 30 every time we run a miasm scan for someone.
Oh, yeah, that's a good example, Puja. Yeah.
The proof is in the pudding.
Well, blood pressure is that's just considered generational, I hear that all the time. Well, I have high blood pressure. Well, yeah, so does my dad, and so did all my uncles, But that doesn't mean that you're stuck with it, like you just said.
Yeah.
You can do a miasm scan on that weakness that is in regards to blood pressure, and by the next day, their numbers will drop at least 25 to 30 points.
It works. Yep, that's true. And just because it runs in the family, sometimes, if the grandfather has it and then father has it and then son has it, it feels as if it's normal, but actually it's not. So, and we can easily deal with it. So a problem is not a problem if we can solve it. So That's another thing, that it's not normal to have that. Just because someone had it doesn't mean you have to have it, because you know what loads the gun and what pulls the trigger is two different things, and we are very good at identifying the predisposing, the triggers, the maintaining factors. And once we have identified those, I think it's easy to clear.
Yeah.
And also the patterns, you know, that we have seen the patterns, you know, so, you know, if whether it's to do with the relationships, like, you know, if dad had two marriages for any reason, I think that would pass on too. So these are patterns as well that we could clear. Something to do with abundance and finances, even those things we have seen, like how many times it runs in the generations. So these are some things that we look into, and we are so comprehensive.
Yeah, finances is huge. I mean, that is such a generational issue. You know, when you talk with people, well, my parents didn't have any money, or, you know, my dad lost everything, or he was so, you know, it's like, I mean, that's so, and then beliefs about money are very generational. Mm-hmm. And finding those is really important for helping someone break free of their, you know, mindset about finances that's blocking their life from being how it could be.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty fun stuff.
Yeah.
The other thing
that people are so excited because they never thought that this could be cleared, so they are pretty excited.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. The other thing I was thinking, and it's not as fun, but I'll tell you, it works, and it's probably another topic for an entire, you know, podcast or teleclinic or class or something, but is generational curses. And they're that is a very real thing. You know, I can't tell you how many clients over the years have said, I just feel cursed in my family, or I just feel like my family is cursed. You know, whether that's about finances, terrible health, tragic things happening, you know, it is a thing. And that can very well be something that is in reality going on for someone that we're trying to help. So that's absolutely on our radar as well when we're testing someone and helping them, that can also be a possibility. So that's something that we check. And again, it's also something that can be healed. It's not out of the realm of possibility for healing.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. I have never seen that before with any other healing. You and I know how many modalities, you know, exist there, how many of them we have tried, and the one that we practice right now, I think generational clearing, the trauma and everything that we clear, it is the peace. That is one of the things that we look into when we do the clearing for our clients when they come in with symptoms and pain and chronic illness. So this is the piece that we look into, and this is where we are so comprehensive, and we make sure that, you know, everything that is causing is covered and cleared and brought to the light to heal. So generational trauma is one of the things, the piece that we look into, and we are very good at it, I think, based on what our clients have said.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Do you want to take a caller, Puja?
Yeah, sure. Let's go for it.
All right. Good timing. I was just about to pop on and let you know we're halfway through the show already. It goes so fast. Okay, here we go. 267, area code 267. You are the lucky caller to get on. What is your first name? Where are you calling in from?
Kathy with a C. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Hello.
Kathy?
Yes.
I know Kathy.
You know me.
Kathy.
You've known me for 15 years.
How are you doing, Kathy?
All right, thank you. I called in a month or so ago and got on, and then I ended up talking myself, so I was curious to hear what you had to say.
Do you have a specific question for us today?
No. I was just wondering what you would say about our time together.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what. I have a lot of good things to say about our time together. Oh, honestly, yes. I've been working with you and sometimes your family for a really long time. And
right, and before you, there were some other people, but you were always part of the team until I found out that you were the best.
Oh, thank you, Kathy. Well, you and I have gone through a lot together, Kathy, and I know that, and I am grateful. I'm honestly so grateful that I've been able to work with you and help you over the years, because you have been an absolute delight. You really. Yeah. And you're one of those people, when I've seen your phone number on my list for the day, that I'm always happy to call.
Well, I was interested in what you were saying about generational miasmas, you call them?
Yes, yeah.
Which I've never heard of.
Yeah. It's miasma it's a concept that came out of homeopathy in terms of, energetic frequencies to be treated, that go back in time, generations back. And a lot of them actually originated when, sanitation was not very good, and prior to those times in history. So when there was, like tuberculosis and gonorrhea and other conditions that now, obviously could be treated easily. But that's when those miasms began, when, things were, honestly, it was before sanitation and before much medicine and those types of things. So the frequency of that still shows up generationally now. And for example, like if someone we all have a tuberculosis miasm, because tuberculosis was rampant in our world, So all of us still have that energy and that miasm. And then depending on the person, it will show up differently. Because tuberculosis was a lung disease, people think, well, then I must have, if I have lung problems, maybe I have the tuberculosis miasm. It possibly, but it could even show up with something like arthritis or gout or chronic fatigue or migraines. Anything could have the tuberculosis miasm as a causal factor when we go through and do our testing. So it's interesting because it's not then, always what you think it's going to be. It's not necessarily the lungs because it's tuberculosis. So, that's one of the things we look at on our, when we go through some of the physical lists that we work on with somebody. And sometimes that'll show up, as a priority to work on. And, then it weakens somebody if they have a miasm, that's kind of activated by stress or trauma or something physical in their life.
I hope I answered that. That's very interesting. Speaking of a couple of things, what I continue working on, and probably always will, I don't know, is digestion and food sensitivities. And I'm curious about the arthritis, because that's very annoying, and my father had a lot of trouble with it.
I'll tell you lately what I've found, Kathy, and Puja, I don't know if you have found anything different, but what I found lately, and I've been looking for it more the last couple of years, is how directly related to digestion arthritis is. That if someone calls with arthritis, I always start checking their digestive system and checking food sensitivities, because sometimes someone can be eating something that causes an arthritis flare-up. They won't even notice any digestive issue, but it's something they ate and then it causes a flare-up in their joints. And it's actually tests as a digestive issue, but what they feel is in their joints.
That's correct, yeah. I have found that a lady, arthritis, initial stages, and she has struggled with fissures for several years now, and she's sensitive to dairy and wheat.
She struggles with what, Puja?
Fissures. Have you fissures? FISSURES. Fissures. So.
Fissures. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
She's had that. This is where it started. Like if we do the thread scan, that's where it started. Fissures, and then like now she's feeling arthritis. So yeah, that's true. Digestive issues.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So Kathy, that's something that is probably related to, for you, and with your history of food sensitivities, the foods in terms of the arthritis and the digestive process in terms of the arthritis, and that's testing true for you.
Interesting. And what about skin conditions?
Did you say skin?
Psoriasis, or like marks and bumps and eruptions and.
You mean, yes, like I was going to tease you and say, well, some of that is aging. I've noticed some bumps and things I don't like lately, too.
Exactly. What are the just?
I'm like, what is this? This is not good. This is not right.
Yep.
Well, honestly, Kathy, I mean, we're talking about, psoriasis, miasm. So some of that can be, a generational vulnerability or generational weakness. But also, if someone has skin stuff, whether that's rashes, like eczema type thing, psoriasis, those types of things, or something unknown on the skin, I always check digestive. You probably knew I was going to say that, Kathy. Digestive, thyroid, kidneys. Those are the three I always check: digestive, thyroid, and kidneys. Kidneys, if kidneys are involved, a lot of times it'll be a puffier rash for whatever reason. But yeah, oftentimes digestive too. And the other thing I often find with the skin issues, especially a rash of some type, is underlying fungal infection, like a candida or, some kind of mold-related pathogen, often in the digestive system, and that can contribute to what looks like, psoriasis or eczema or something like that.
Well, I had that in the past. I don't think it's the issue. One never knows.
Yeah, a fungal issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually is testing for you. I'm getting that right now as well.
How about that? That was a dozen years ago. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what can we do about that?
Well, are you having something on your skin?
Yeah. I had red bumps on one elbow, and they were bright red, and they finally it was a lump underneath, and they disappeared, and then they appeared on the other elbow.
Okay,
and I had some rash on my forehead.
Oh.
So I'm glad I have long bangs.
Let's see.
That I've had, yeah.
There's one food, and there's a fungal issue.
Okay.
Puja, are you getting anything different?
I am getting the most weakest system is detoxification system.
Okay.
And and her body says the priority is non-physical. So based on like when did this all start for her?
Kathy, when did all of that? Yeah.
No, I was just going to say, are you all still on?
Sorry, say that again?
I was just going to ask if you're still on because I didn't hear anything. But it sounds like
we can hear you.
Did you have a question for Kathy, Puja, when it started?
Yeah, when did her rashes and all this skin issues started?
Oh my. That was back before I went to Indonesia.
Oh.
2005, 6.
Oh, wow.
I had a prescription medication for a while, which really didn't help. And Sometimes it was worse and sometimes it was better, but I don't know that I've ever been completely free of it.
Kathy, what was the prescription, Kathy? Do you remember? Was it like corticosteroid cream or something, or you mean like a pill?
It was a cream.
Mm-hmm. Probably steroid cream, I bet, huh?
I have no idea.
Okay.
And I went several different times for different people. One time I got a sample of something, and one time I got a prescription. But none of it worked.
Okay. So Puja, if you test Kathy back in time when she went to Indonesia that first time.
2006, 2005.
Oh, good. Okay, good. Thank you. 2005. Is there some kind of parasite that was there?
Yeah, that's weak.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Kathy, you got a parasite from there in 2005.
Okay.
Probably why your digestion has been very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So let's test this. So now, almost 20 years later, let's see. It's in your highest and best good to go here. Okay, yeah, so the parasite came in long before the fungal infection.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we should find something that you can actually use to help clear that. We can show it to your body energetically, but I think it would be good to find something. I know you're sensitive to various products, but let's see if we can. Let me just try to think of something here that might be helpful for you there.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. How do you do with herbal blends, Kathy?
Herbal?
Herbal, yeah.
Yeah. Fine.
You do okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So the one that I like probably the best is something called Botanifuge. Let's see.
You want to spell it or?
Yeah, it's kind of like botany. BOTANI Fuge, which is FUGE.
I'm sorry, I got to get a different pen.
That's okay. And you can always email me too if you don't quite get it. It's a Botanifuge, BOTAN, like botany, BOTANI FUGE.
BOTANI, botany.
Yep, FUGE, Fuge.
F or S?
F as in Frank.
FOUGE?
FUGE.
FUGE. Botany food. Okay.
Botanifuge, yeah. And you can get that online. If you have any trouble, just email me and I can send you a link.
Okay.
But I would start with that. Honestly, I know how sensitive that your system is sometimes, so I would honestly just start with one in a meal. Just take it and then eat a meal, but just do one a day. Don't take more than that right away because it's strong. It's an excellent product, but just start with one a day.
Okay.
Yeah, that should be helpful. Well, I'm glad you called so we could find an old parasite.
Oh, very old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, as soon as you started talking about your skin, Puja and I both, I think, could see there was an old parasite there.
Having a heyday.
Yeah, well, not anymore.
Okay, thank you.
No more heyday for the parasite.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm just showing your body where it is right now. So.
I've done that.
Oh, you already did it?
I've done that energetically. Yeah. While you were doing them. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
For her. Yeah.
Okay, where did it show up, Puja?
Well, it is mainly showing in her digestive tract.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
small intestine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Kidneys
All right,
show up. Kidneys did show up, yeah. Kidney, stomach. And now that we've cleared, even her large intestine is coming up.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. And let's bring in the liver there too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Kathy, that's a big find. I'm really happy that you called.
Yeah.
Seriously, that will help all kinds of things.
Wonderful. Can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah. Skin, digestion. I think that will even help brain function. It's very exciting.
Well, very, very much so. Thank you.
Let's see how we do with arthritis too, I think.
Maybe arthritis, hopefully.
Yeah, let us know how you're doing with it.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thanks for calling. Thanks for talking to Kathy. It's like talking to an old friend.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. I'll just let you guys know you've got 10 minutes to the top. 519 is next. 519, what's your first name? Where are you calling in from?
Hi there, it's Jennifer. I'm calling from Canada.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hello. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. I feel like I have parasites too. Is that something that you can help me with?
Absolutely. What are your symptoms you're considering when you ask about that, Jennifer? What's going on?
General fatigue, but it's been going on for probably the last 5 years. Brain fog, digestion issues.
Okay. Yeah, Puja, if you want to go ahead and test her, I can. Either is fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, I can do that.
Okay.
I would like to find out what is the source of this. Testing for Jennifer. I am testing this as a thyroid issue.
What did you say, Puja?
It is coming up as the most weakest. The source of this is thyroid.
Thyroid, okay.
Have you tested yourself, Jennifer, for thyroid?
My doctor did, and it was all fine, but I do find if I take a little bit of iodine, I do have a lot more energy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you're finding too, Beth?
Yeah. It's what, technically they call subclinical hypothyroidism, where it doesn't show up on a test, but if you take something to support your thyroid, you feel better. So, it tells you that it's a little bit low even though it's not showing. And a lot of times blood tests for thyroid they're just not a very accurate test. They're not specific enough. So oftentimes that is the case for people where they kind of just know their thyroid's not working that well, but it won't show up on a test. That is true. And then what happens is when your thyroid is somewhat low functioning, that really reduces your digestive power. So then when you're exposed to something like a parasite or some other kind of pathogen, you have a harder time getting rid of it because your digestion isn't strong enough because your thyroid's not working well enough. So I think that's the cycle of what's happened here for you. I think Puja is exactly right. The thyroid is somewhat low functioning. So then your digestion suffered some. And then now if we go back 5 years, you actually did get a parasite. You're right.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. So if we ask, we'll say, okay, something in the terrain changed. Yes. It was physical. Yes. 5 years ago. Yes. So then if we check that, something man-made, no. Biological, yes. Yeah, you absolutely show a parasite. Puja, do you happen to have that parasite chart that says where did this come from?
Yeah. Let's just test
See what
for
comes
Jennifer.
up on that for Jennifer, just so she knows.
Mm-hmm.
see. That product don't want to be healthy. Okay.
Something here. Jennifer, let me have you say this is true.
This is true.
This is testing as animal waste.
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
And it is,
Oh, something with animal, like animal feces or something?
Yeah,
I do change the cat litter, yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, did she get this from her cat? Does that test true? I think so.
That is true, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what I saw, cat, when we say animal waste, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so, so I would, Jennifer, I continue with your iodine. You may want to take more, actually, because your thyroid's still pretty low, even with that. You could add in a thyroid glandular supplement, either like a, beef or lamb glandular, or there's a product called ThyroStim, ThyroStim, from Biotics Research. That's a comprehensive kind of thyroid support nutritional supplement, or else even, like from Ancestral, like a glandular, that's a thyroid glandular from beef or lamb. And then the other thing for the parasite, you could use the Botanifuge I was just telling Kathy about, or Cellcore also has a line that tests really good for you. And that's CELLCORE, Cellcore. They have a parasite protocol as well, or the Botanifuge, or even, the traditional Hulda Clark herbal cleanse. I think Hulda Clark you can find online, HULDA Clark. She was a physician that really was the first person to understand the role of parasites in, poor physical health. She still has some tinctures and things like that online that you can find. So see what you can find along those lines. But, yeah, like a parasite cleanse product is going to be, your best bet right now in combination with thyroid support.
Have you ever used that I can't even ever pronounce it. That
diatomaceous? Yeah.
Will that work for parasites too?
It works for some parasites. It tends to work for worms, but not some of the others. But this is probably a worm type frequency. So let's check that for you. Let's see. Okay. I want to be healthy. Yeah, it actually tests significantly helpful for the type of parasite you have. So that would be totally fine.
Oh, good. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and that's easy to find. So.
Yeah, I like the price.
Yeah, and the price is right. Yeah, and it's good stuff. Yeah, give it a try. Yeah, I think that's gonna between the thyroid and the parasites, you should be in good shape then.
All right, I appreciate your time, ladies. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you.
We have 2 minutes-ish to the top. Take your time. We're doing your wrap-up and shameless self-promotion.
All right. Well, it's Parasite Day. I'm just kidding. So everyone check yourself for parasites. If you don't know how, give us a call. How's that for a wrap?
Well, you have 1.5 minutes left.
Okay.
And expand a little bit.
Yes. We're doing great things at Best Healing Solutions. We have wonderful practitioners like Puja that we've trained. We have a fantastic mastery program. If people are interested in learning this work for yourself or as a healer or just to help your family, go to besthealingsolutions.com and you can look at our classes. We offer multiple classes throughout the year at all different levels. Whether you're a beginner or a little more advanced, there's a spot for you. So that's what I like to share with people, because I really want to see people learn not just to muscle test, but how to then, quote unquote, be able to diagnose or dialogue with the body about what's really going on. It's very empowering. So I love to talk about that as much as possible, because that's our goal, is health empowerment.
Absolutely. I think I like the mastery program because it is just learn at your own pace, and you can just take the classes, and then there are digital downloads. You can go at your own pace. There is a study group as well that we offer for students, and you can ask your questions, practice, and of course Beth is always available alongside with other practitioners for any insights that you need. So that's slingsolutions.com.
Yeah, and call Puja, because she kicks butt. She's very humble, but that girl knows what's going on.
Oh, he's on from the best.
So, okay. So that's a wrap, Nicole. Is that right?
That is a wrap. We are right on time. Perfect. Always a pleasure. Thanks, both of you, for being here. Beth, I look forward to next time. As always, we'll see you then.
Me too. Me too. Have a wonderful weekend, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Beth.
You too.
You're welcome.
All right.
Bye.
Beth is all linked up at newsforthesoul.com, and we're back with more right after this quick reset break, if I can find the right button and nothing else blows up today.
Hear all of our previously aired broadcasts of News for the Soul online at newsforthesoul.com. Now let's get back to the show.
Experience the joy of flying with award-winning Fiji Airways. Their 5-star hospitality means your holiday starts in the air with complimentary meals, drinks, and entertainment. Flying non-stop to happiness from Vancouver to Fiji, and you'll soon be on sandy tropical beaches with crystal clear waters and vibrant culture. Or fly via Fiji with seamless connections to Hong Kong, Singapore, Tokyo, Australia, or New Zealand. Book now at FijiAirways.com or call your travel agent today.